Good morning, students. So, in the first session, we were explaining question of trust. Question of trust. You see, so far we have learned that Horace Dandy, the protagonist, the hero of the story, was a middle-aged person. He was a locksmith by profession, and he was, you can say, successful in his trade. Actually, he could employ 2 workers. Okay, and he is unmarried, and he had a caretaker sort of who looked after him. Now you see, Horace Dandy is, you see, he seemed quite, you can say, he was respected by all in the neighborhood. He was quite noble person, but he had a secret. 15 years ago, he had to spend, you see, he was imprisoned for a crime, actually, got it? So he had a criminal background, got it? So anyway, he is, generally people regarded him as a, respectful sort of person. Anyway, he had a peculiar sort of, hobby. He liked to read quite expensive and rare books. They are costly, actually, not that available. Anyway, and that's why each year he robbed one safe, and from the money he got from that particular burglary, he used to buy books, okay, and he didn't buy books himself. He got it from an agent, okay. So far we have known, and that particular year, you see, he had already selected his target, a particular house named Sotover Grange, and before every robbery, he used to, he proceeded very meticulously, he planned very carefully. He observed the house for several days, and he even acquired the layout of the plan of the house, and you see, and he tried to gather as much information he could about the particular house that he was going to rob. Okay. Anyway, on that particular day, okay, he was already prepared. Okay, he had brought his tools with him. He was hiding there in the garden, and when he saw that, you see the members of that particular household were away in a vacation in London. He knew it, and he knew that only the servants were there to look after the house. And when he saw from the hiding place, the servant had gone to the movie. He now, you see, okay, he was started approaching the house. He got the, you see, the key. He knew where the key was hanged, actually, and he got the key. And from that key, he entered the house. First, he met the dog, okay, and then the name of the dog was Cherry, and he knew how to tame a dog, actually, and dog seemed not at all hostile, okay. It is not even barking when he saw Horace Dandy, okay. Anyway, when he was about to, another thing is that he had he suffers from an illness that is called hay fever, sort of an allergic reaction, and whenever he comes into contact with certain substances, okay, it becomes a trigger for his sort of an allergen, it becomes a trigger, and he got the symptoms of the hay fever, like sneezing, runny nose, that sort of thing, and itchy eyes. These are the symptoms of hay fever, actually. And as I have told you earlier, hay fever is not caused by any bacteria or virus. It is an allergic reaction. Anyway, when he was about to, you see, there was a bowl of flour actually, and when he first approached, that particular bowl, he got some itchy feeling. Okay, it means that particular bowler is a trigger for his hay fever. Anyway, and he even sneezed once or twice, and he was just about to open the safe, okay, where the jewelry worth rupees several millions was kept. He was just about to open the safe. He was wearing gloves also, because he was very careful that there should not be any fingerprints left. You can say, you see, from the fingerprints, the police can detect who is the thief actually, if they have the previous record of his fingerprints. Anyway, he was about to open the safe, and suddenly he sneezed very loudly. Got it? And after that, he heard someone talking to him. Got it? Okay, there was a lady standing in the doorway. Okay, impulsively she is asking whether it is cold or hay fever. Impulsively, without thinking realizing where he was, he promptly replied that it was hay fever. Okay, now he came to his senses that he was not supposed to talk with anyone, because especially a member of the household, because he is a sort of a thief. Okay, he was there only to steal someone, and it was supposed to be a secret, you can say, activity. Okay, nobody should be there to interfere, or no, there should be no one who can see him. Okay, anyway, they started their conversation. Okay, for us, first, from the conversation, Horace had the feeling that the lady was not at all hostile. The lady told him that, you see, he had to come back. Okay, she is supposed to be in London, but she had to come back to collect her jewelry actually. So from the conversation, you see, Horace had the idea that he could somehow impress the lady, and now since somebody is there already, his presence was discovered. So he thought that it's better to, run away from there. Okay. Anyway, Horace had some hope, because she seemed to be amused at meeting him. As I have told you, she was not at all, hostile, angry, sort of, or hysterical, okay, crying or shouting, that sort of thing. He might avoid trouble if he treated her the right way. He replied, "I didn't expect to meet one of the family." She nodded, "I see, what an inconvenience. Inconvenience means trouble. Okay, it is for you to meet me. What are you going to do?" Now you see, the lady was asking what she was going to do. Okay, what he was going to do, since now she had that particular member of the family. Okay, so what are you going to do? Horace said, "My first thought was to run." Okay, he was very candid, you can say, very frankly told her that whenever I heard your voice, my first thought was to run away as soon as possible. Of course, you could do that, but I would telephone the police and tell them all about you. They would get you at once. Now, the lady is saying that you can run away from the place, but I will definitely, call the police and they will catch you. Okay, Horace said, "I will of course cut the telephone wires first, and then he hesitated, a smile on his face. I would make sure that you could do nothing for some time. A few hours would be enough. Now, this is a veiled, indirect threatening. Okay, he is also trying to threaten, you see, scare that lady. Okay, that I will see that you wouldn't you won't be able to call the police. It means he was indirectly telling her that I will see that, you see, he's not, telling indirectly that he would injure her, or maybe he would bind her, okay, so that she wouldn't move for some time. She looked at him seriously. You would hurt me? Horace paused and then said, I think I was trying to frighten you when I said that. Now you see, from the body language, you see, the lady was not at all frightened. Okay, she could face a burglar. Okay, and even talk with him. Okay, you didn't frighten me, Horace suggested. It would be nice if you would forget you ever saw me. Let me go now. Since Horace saw that the lady was not at all frightened by his threat, she is now employing another trick. Okay, so that's why Horace suggested it would be nice if you would forget you ever saw me. Let me go. Got it? It means if you promise me that you won't call the police and let me go, or I will do nothing. The voice was suddenly sharp. Okay, now why should I? You were going to rob me? If I let you go, you will only rob someone else. Society must be protected from men like you. Now the lady said that you tried to rob me, but I came in the right time. That's why you were unable to break my safe. But since I let you go scot free, okay, you will rob someone else. Got it? So it is my duty to protect the society from a person like you. Horace smiled. I am not a man who threatens society. I steal only from those who have a lot of money. I steal for a very good reason, and I hate the thought of prison. So you see, Horace was trying to impress upon her. So he said that I am not exactly a thief who threatens society, and I have some special reason to steal. Got it? And I steal only from prosperous, households. She laughed and he begged, thinking that he had persuaded her. So, look, I have no right to ask you for anything, but I am desperate. Let me go, and I promise never to do this kind of thing again. I really mean it. So again, you see, she is trying to persuade her, so that she would let him go, okay, and without informing the police. She was silent, watching him closely. Then she said, you are really afraid of going to prison, aren't you? Now he is candidly saying that I don't like to go to prison again, okay? And so the lady is asking whether you really don't like to go to prison. She came about him, shaking her head. I have always liked the wrong kind of people. It means I liked you, okay? I like talking to you, or maybe you see that's how the lady is responding. As I told you, she was not at all hostile. So she is saying that why I come to like wrong kind of people. It means she is not supposed to like him, because Horace was the thief and he was caught red-handed, okay, while stealing. So anyway, she is saying that why I am not angry with you, that sort of thing. She picked up a silver box from the table and took a cigarette from it. Horace, eager to please her and seeing that she might help him, took off his gloves and gave her his cigarette lighter. Okay, the lady was took a silver box, cigarette box, and when took a cigarette. Horace took, took off, his gloves and lighted her cigarette. You will let me go. He held the lighter towards her. Yes, but only if you will do something for me. Okay. The lady told him that only on one condition I will allow you to go. Okay. Anything you say. You see, Horace was desperate. To leave that place. So he said that anything you say, I am willing to do. Horace, who left for London. Okay, before we left for London, I promised my husband to take my jewels to our bank, but I left them here in the safe. I want to wear them to a party tonight, so I came down to get them. But okay, she is saying that she had left her jewels in the safe. Okay, she had promised her husband to deposit those jewels in a safety vault in the bank. Actually, she didn't do it, and she needs those jewels for a party that night. That's why he came back, to collect her jewels. Horace smiled. You have forgotten the numbers to open the safe, haven't you? Now you see, she's saying that I have calmed down, but it was an incomplete sentence. Horace guessed that maybe she had forgotten the numbers actually. A particular combination, you see, that safe has a numbered lock actually. You know the password sort of. That if you forget the combination of those numbers, you won't be able to open it. Horace smiled. You have forgotten the numbers to open the safe, haven't you? Yes, replied the young lady. Just leave it to me. You will have them within an hour, but I will have to break your safe. Now you see, Horace said that you don't have to worry because I will get those jewels out of the safe, but for that I have to break the safe. Since you don't have the key, you don't have the numbers, you forget the numbers, so it can't be opened. Now I will have to break it. Just leave it to me. Don't worry about that. My husband won't be here for a month, and I will have the safe mended by that time. Now the lady replied that you don't have to worry about breaking the safe because she will get 1 month's time. After 1 month only, her husband would return. By that time, she will have repaired the safe again. And within an hour, Horace had opened the safe, given her the jewels, and gone happily away. For 2 days, he kept his promise to the kind young lady. On the morning of the third day, however, he thought of the books he wanted, and he knew he would have to look for another safe. Now you see, she had this particular tendency to read, rare and expensive books. For 2 days, he didn't, think about robbing another safe. But on the third day, he was again thinking about breaking looking for another safe. But he never got the chance to begin his plan. By noon, a policeman had arrested him for the jewel robbery at Software Cranes. Now you see, he was just starting to plan actually. He was thinking about planning for a robbery. Since he couldn't rob the safe at the Software Cranes, he was thinking of finding another safe. But he couldn't start his planning, and on the third day, the police arrested him on the charge of jewel robbery at Software Cranes. His fingerprints, you see, when he was lighting the cigarette, he took off, his gloves actually. Now, that was, you can say, a cardinal sort of mistake, a big mistake on his part. His fingerprints, for he had opened the safe without gloves, were all over the room, and no one believed him when he said that the wife of the owner of the house had asked him to open the safe for her. Now, you see, he told the judges, okay, he tried to convince the judges that the wife of the owner herself had told him to open the safe, but nobody believed him because the wife herself, a gray-haired, sharp-tongued woman of 60. Now we see, said that the story was nonsense. Now we see, she had now here Horace, made a big mistake. He had the complete layout of the house, but somehow he missed complete information about the members of that particular household. That's why he thought, okay, he took that lady for the wife of the owner. Okay, he didn't have the idea that the real wife was a 60-year-old lady. Okay, that's why he was fooled by the lady actually. Now, who is the lady? Okay, the lady herself was another thief. A thief, you see, deceived another thief. Okay, Horace is now an assistant librarian in the prison. He often thinks of this charming, clever young lady who was in the same profession as he was. So, he was again put into prison. Again, he was in a prison, in the library of that particular prison, and he often, when he had free time, he often thought about the charming, dashing sort of lady who tricked him to believe that she was actually the mistress of that particular household, and who tricked him. He gets very angry when anyone talks about honor among thieves. So in the prison, generally the thieves discuss about this particular principle, that honor among thieves. It means a thief never get into trouble another. Okay, you see, cause trouble for another thief. That's sort of a principle they are supposed to follow. Okay, they are not supposed to deceive one another. But whenever he gets that, honor among thieves, okay, that particular, sentence, he gets angry. Got it? So we know that a thief, a lady, how she deceived Horace. Okay, a thief. You see, her act was quite convincing. Horace didn't have because iota of doubt that she may be, she may not be the member of that particular household. Her body language, her confidence, the way she talked, okay, her knowledge about the household, everything, her personality also, okay. That's why Horace was a victim of, you can say, of her disguise. Okay, so that's how Horace was fooled by another thief. Okay, so that's the story. I'll provide a note on this particular story later. For now,